Darren Lehmann has broken his silence for the first time since Australia's ball tampering against South Africa was uncovered, and admits he fears for the mental health of disgraced trio Steve Smith, David Warner, and Cameron Bancroft. The Aussie coach kept his job over the incident, with Cricket Australia chief James Sutherland satisfied he had no knowledge of the incident that has shaken the world of cricket. Disgraced Australian duo Steve Smith and David Warner were handed 12-month bans, with Cameron Bancroft suspended for 9 months after tampering the ball with sandpaper, not tape, during the Cape Town Test. Lehmann said on Wednesday, "The players have made a grave mistake, but they are not bad people. There is a human side to this. I hope people will give them a second chance." He apologised to Australian cricket fans, admitting, "We know we have let so many people down. We are truly sorry." Smith and Warner were stood down as captain and vice-captain after they ordered Cameron Bancroft, who has been banned for 9 months, to tamper with the ball with sandpaper, not tape, during the Cape Town Test. As Smith was heckled with cries of "cheat" as he got a police through Johannesburg Airport en route to Sydney ahead of flying back to Australia. Cricket officials also revealed Cricket Australia's probe into the ball tampering plot by Australian players during the third test against South Africa has revealed even more astonishing details about the situation. Though it was previously believed that Cameron Bancroft used tape to pick up dirt to be rubbed against the ball, it has been confirmed by officials that sandpaper was utilised to roughen it. The probe also found Warner found responsible for development of a plan to attempt to artificially alter the condition of the ball, and instruction to a junior player to carry out a plan. It has led to him being told he will never be considered for a captaincy position in the national side again. Steve Smith was banned on the basis that he knew about the plan but failed to prevent it from being carried out, as well as directing Bancroft to hide the sandpaper in his trousers. All three were found to have attempted to have lied about what happened to match officials after they were caught out on TV cameras. Cricket Australia released their damning findings from the incident on Wednesday, with Smith and Bancroft barred from leadership positions for the next 2 years. The report adds that former vice-captain Warner will not be considered again in the future after showing Bancroft how to tamper with the ball using sandpaper. Warner was found to have been responsible for development of a plan to attempt to artificially alter the condition of the ball, and instruction to a junior player to carry out a plan. The former vice-captain was also charged with providing advice to a junior player, Bancroft, on how to tamper with the ball, including demonstrating how it could be done. Warner also misled the Newlands match officials by concealing his knowledge of and involvement in the plan and did not voluntarily report his involvement. Cricket Australia's website alleged Warner had showed an apparent lack of contrition over the incident, a statement which has since been removed. Smith is charged with knowing of the plan but failing to take steps to prevent it. All three are permitted to play club cricket and will have to undertake 100 hours of voluntary service in community cricket before they are considered for selection again. Cricket Australia chairman David Peever said, "As I indicated yesterday, the CA board understands and shares the anger of fans and the broader Australian community about these events." Steve Smith was charged with a breach of Article 2.3.5 of the CA Code of Conduct based on a. knowledge of a potential plan to attempt to artificially alter the condition of the ball, b. failure to take steps to seek to prevent the development and implementation of that plan, c. directing that evidence of attempted tampering be concealed on the field of play, d. seeking to mislead match officials and others regarding Bancroft's attempts to artificially alter the condition of the ball, e. misleading public comments regarding the nature, extent and participants of the plan. David Warner was charged with a breach of Article 2.3.5 of the CA Code of Conduct based on a. development of a plan to attempt to artificially alter the condition of the ball, b. instruction to a junior player to carry out a plan to take steps to attempt to artificially alter the condition of the ball using sandpaper, c. provision of advice to a junior player regarding how a ball could be artificially altered, including demonstrating how it could be done, d. failure to take steps to seek to prevent the development and/or implementation of the plan, e. failure to report his knowledge of the plan at any time prior to or during the match, f. misleading match officials through the concealment of his knowledge of and involvement in the plan, g. failure to voluntarily report his knowledge of the plan. After the match, Cameron Bancroft was charged with a breach of Article 2.3.5 of the CA Code of Conduct based on a. knowledge of the existence of, and being party to, the plan to attempt to artificially alter the condition of the ball using sandpaper, b. carrying out instructions to attempt to artificially alter the condition of the ball, c. seeking to conceal evidence of his attempts to artificially alter the condition of the ball, d. seeking to mislead match officials and others regarding his attempts to artificially alter the condition of the ball, e. misleading public comments regarding the nature, extent, Implementation and participants of the plan. They go to the integrity and reputation of Australian cricket and Australian sport, and the penalties must reflect that. June 2018, Tour of England, 5 ODIs and 1 T20. June to July, Tour of Zimbabwe, 1 Test and 3 ODIs. July, Bangladesh and Australia, 2 Tests and 3 ODIs. October, Tour of Pakistan, 5 ODIs and 1 T20. October to November, South Africa and Australia, 5 ODIs and 3 T20s. November to January 2019, India and Australia, 4 Tests. January to February, Sri Lanka and Australia, 2 Tests, 3 ODIs. February 2019, India and Australia, 5 ODIs, 2 T20s. March 2019, Tour of Pakistan, 3 Tests. These are significant penalties for professional players, and the board does not impose them lightly. It is hoped that following a period of suspension, the players will be able to return to playing the game they love and eventually rebuild their careers. CA Chief James Sutherland added, "As the chairman has noted, the sanctions we have announced are significant for the individuals involved. That is why the process has had to be thorough to ensure that all relevant issues have been examined. I am satisfied that the sanctions in this case properly reflect a balance between the need to protect the integrity and reputation of the game and the need to maintain the possibility of redemption for the individuals involved, all of whom have learned difficult lessons through these events." As indicated, Cricket Australia will provide more details of an independent review into the conduct and culture of our Australian men's team in due course. Sutherland concluded. Smith has been replaced as captain by wicketkeeper Tim Paine and is expected to give a press conference when he lands at Sydney Airport later on Wednesday. The punishments will see Smith and Warner return to Australian colours in time for next year's World Cup in England and the 2019 Ashes series. Bancroft will be available for selection again in time for the Australian summer. In the meantime, all three will be unable to play state or Australian cricket, but can play grade cricket. Cricket Australia chief James Sutherland had promised significant sanctions on Tuesday after revealing that Smith, Warner and Bancroft were the only 3 players involved in the plot. Coach Darren Lehmann was spared the axe following claims he knew nothing about the plan. Sutherland himself played down suggestions that his own job was under threat, but did attempt to address the question of whether the players had cheated, having sidestepped it during his press conference on Tuesday evening. "I think under the code it specifically refers to these practices in which we have made the charges and offered the sanctions as cheating. People want to use their own words, but cheating is certainly one of them that is probably appropriate in the circumstances." Were the 3 players liars? Again, if you go to the release, it specifically mentions concern as to some of the comments that were made, and not being totally transparent, he said. "There was an element of courage in owning up to what happened, but there was also unfortunately an element of mistruth in that process, and they were things that were taken into consideration." Sutherland added, "Clearly this has caused a huge amount of damage for the game of cricket as a whole, and certainly Australian cricket, and it's compromised the fans' confidence and faith in cricket. It's really our responsibility, players, administrators, coaches and others, to restore that faith and confidence. There are millions and millions of Australians that love the game of cricket, and our job is to continue to inspire young people to love the game." Australia captain Steve Smith, vice-captain David Warner and Cameron Bancroft have been given lengthy bans for their roles in the ball-tampering controversy. Opening batsman Bancroft attempted to use sandpaper to change the condition of the ball on Day 3 of the 3rd Test against South Africa at Cape Town, in which the tourists were well beaten. Bancroft has been banned for 9 months by Cricket Australia, with Smith and Warner suspended from international and domestic cricket for 12 months and stripped of their leadership responsibilities. Here, Press Association Sport looks back at how the incident has unfolded. March 24, Bancroft is seen on television running his hand over the rough side of the ball while fielding, before removing a small yellow object from his pocket and placing it down the front of his trousers. Match officials charge Bancroft at stumps with changing the condition of the ball. Australia captain Steve Smith says at the end of the second day's play that he is incredibly sorry for bringing the game into disrepute. Smith admits during a press conference that the leadership group knew about it and spoke about it at lunch. "I'm not proud of what's happened, it's not within the spirit of the game." Speaking alongside Smith, Bancroft admits, "We had a discussion during the break and on myself. I saw an opportunity to use some tape and granules from rough patches of the wicket to change the ball's condition." Former England captain Michael Vaughan posts on Twitter, "Steve Smith, his team and all the management will have to accept that whatever happens in their careers they will all be known for trying to cheat the game." Say vows. March 25. Cricket Australia chief executive James Sutherland says he is extremely disappointed and shocked by Smith and Bancroft's admission, calling it a sad day for Australian cricket. Former Australia wicketkeeper Adam Gilchrist says he is stunned, shocked and embarrassed by Smith's admission of premeditated ball tampering. The Australian Sports Commission says in a statement, given the admission by Australian captain Steve Smith, the ASC calls for him to be stood down immediately by Cricket Australia, along with any other members of the team leadership group or coaching staff who had prior awareness of, or involvement in, the plan to tamper with the ball. Australian Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull brands the actions of Smith and Bancroft a shocking disappointment and calls for Cricket Australia to take decisive action soon, adding, "It seemed completely beyond belief that the Australian cricket team had been involved in cheating." Skipper Smith and vice-captain David Warner agree to stand down from their positions ahead of Day 4 of the third Test, with Tim Paine taking over as captain. Former Australia fast bowler Jason Gillespie tells Sky Sports, "It's hard to see how Steve Smith can continue as captain of Australia. It's hard to see how David Warner continues as vice-captain. It's hard to think there isn't going to be a fallout and a big change in personnel." Smith is handed a one-match suspension and fined 100% of his match fee for the third Test by the International Cricket Council. Bancroft is fined 75% of his match fee and handed 3 demerit points. ICC Chief Executive David Richardson says in a statement, "The decision made by the leadership group of the Australian team to act in this way is clearly contrary to the spirit of the game, risks causing significant damage to the integrity of the match, the players and the sport itself, and is therefore serious in nature. The game needs to have a hard look at itself." Smith is booed by the crowd before and after his innings, making just 7 as Australia are bowled out for 107 to lose by 322 runs. Former Australia bowler Gillespie says Smith should no longer be captain and calls the situation a train wreck. Ex-England man Graham Swan says the Australians are friendless. March 26, Smith stands down as captain of the Rajasthan Royals so the team can get ready for the start of the Indian Premier League without the ongoing distractions. Former England captain Vaughan says he was pretty sure Australia were tampering with the ball during this winter's 4-0 Ashes series win over England. March 27, Sutherland announces that coach Darren Lehmann will remain in his job having been unaware of the ball tampering plot. Sutherland states that Captain Smith, Vice-Captain Warner and Bancroft were the only players aware of the ball tampering plot and all had been reported for breaching Cricket Australia's code of conduct, with decisions on sanctions for each player to be made in the next 24 hours. Sutherland says Tim Paine had been appointed captain of Australia's Test team, and says the 3 players involved in the ball tampering case would leave South Africa on Wednesday. March 28. Cricket Australia confirmed that Smith and Warner have been banned from domestic and international cricket for 12 months and Bancroft given a 9-month ban. CA add that Smith and Bancroft will not be considered for leadership roles for at least 12 months following the completion of their bans, while Warner will not be considered for team leadership positions in the future. The Indian Premier League confirms that Smith and Warner will not be allowed to play in the 2018 staging of the tournament.